Story time. I got a story for you. It's a true story. You want to know how bad and how demented and soulless and evil the people in the government in Canada are? I know a guy. Let's call him Chris. So Chris, once upon a time, his wife gets sick. She goes to bed. It happens. She goes to lay down. And she dies. She's found by their oldest son. So I don't have to tell you, I shouldn't have to explain how tragic that situation is. He has two sons. One is disabled. He's in a wheelchair. So Chris, racked by grief and the overwhelming stress of having to raise two young boys without their mom and dealing with their death during the pandemic and all the bullshit that came with this, you know what he does? He does what a lot of innocent, naive people would do. They ask for help. He asked the state for help. You want to know how they helped him? They send CPS to his house, and they take his kids. They take his kids. He's too stressed out to look after them, apparently. He spends a year fighting to get them back. It's ongoing. And he's not allowed to talk about this. But I am. And after his latest court appearance to try and regain custody of his own children that he lost control of because he was vulnerable and in need of assistance from the society that he pays taxes to and is expected to take care of our vulnerable when they are in need, because we're all in this together. He finds out that the state just went ahead and vaccinated his 8-year-old son without his consent, despite the fact that he'd served them a notice of liability, stating that he does not consent to this and he does not want his children to receive this experimental mRNA gene therapy. So like the good government of Nova Scotia that it is, it said, fuck you. And it just went ahead and did that, just went ahead and vaccinated his oldest son. And plans to do it to the younger one as soon as they're allowed to do it for, the under 5 category. They separated the kids, by the way. They're not even living together. They're living apart inside the CPS system. And he now sleeps on his couch because he can't sleep in his bed where his wife died. And his boys' rooms are left untouched because all this time now, he's expected, they'll be home. Father leaving his boys' rooms for them to come home. And who knows when that's going to be. This quote's attributed to a lot of people. Gandhi, some other Hubli guy. Essentially, the point of it is this. You can really take the measure and the stock of the value of a society by how well it treats its most vulnerable people. And I would say, poor Chris and his family were in a pretty vulnerable position. Does this sound like help to you? They'll take your kids and they'll do whatever they want to them. They belong to the state, not to you. Expect more of this in the future. And he gave his consent to tell this story. He's not allowed to. This is happening right now where you live, in this country, in Canada, and he's definitely not the only one. I know of several other parents who have had their, children taken away for ridiculous reasons, and they've been stuck with this stuff. Do you think an 8-year-old can consent to this? They have any idea what's going on? Do they even know what mRNA stands for? This is how the state and the government of Canada protects children. If you think that's scary, you should. You should.